All right, it is time to refine all of the goods. So let's see how we are going to do this. We're going to go ahead and start with 1,000 mils of distilled water. All right, let's go ahead and put our sterling in here. So this has all been incinerated. I'm sure there's going to be some chart on the top. Definitely going to have to do this in a couple of different stages, I imagine. But we do need this guy. So let's grab this out of the way. And this is what we will feed. I think this one fits. Hold on. Alright, yep, it fits. Nitric acid. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and fill this beaker up. Not all the way. Not even close. We're going to start with 300. Alright, we're going to have to use a top of a bucket to kind of keep the condensing down. What I'm going to do here is pour this in so that it mixes in with the water right away. Then we'll swirl that a little bit. Alright, and then we'll get that up on the heat. Well, that wasn't a very vigorous reaction. I suppose it was kind of mild. Let's put a little bit more in. 300. No. Let's stay there. I changed my mind. We'll let that do its thing. I imagine that'll eat actually all of the silver that we have in here. It'll be a good judgment call anyway. So let's let that eat. 5,000 milliliter beaker. We don't see that bad boy unused too much. All right, we are mid first go around yet. And it's really cool because you can see the condensation on the side of the beaker there. So with the amount of extra glass that's not being used, it's basically condensing the nitric fumes back into nitric acid. So we'll see how far this gets us. It's a pretty good run so far. The second I open that up, you would see a huge plume come out, and then this would darken up drastically. Let's see here. I'm going to show you a little bit of an example, I guess. So you can see there, it starts to condense in there. You can kind of see that vortex, right? Of the heaviers. The cold, heavy stuff start to sink down, and then the hot stuff go back up. So we'll be reusing a whole bunch of nitric in there. So we'll see how far that gets us. What is going on, everybody? So here is our beaker full of silver. So I did refill this up last night with some sterling. As I shut it down, we'd run out of. Nothing was left in here. So I just kind of let it do its thing overnight. What I'm going to do is add another 150 mils of nitric into this bad boy, and yeah, we'll bring this up to a boil and see where we get. We should be getting there relatively close. So in it goes. Just going to gently pour this down the side. Our solution is, like I said, very cool. It's about 55 degrees here in the basement, so I'm not too worried about crazy reaction right off the bat. However, I don't want to pour that right on the metal because you will get some good fumage right off the bat there. So go ahead, give that a quick little stir. And our solution, let's see here. We're down a little bit. So we're going to recharge with a little bit of distilled water too. Hold on, I got to get another gallon. We're back. We're going to bring this back up to the 1500 mark. What I'm going to do when we get all of this down is I'm going to try and evaporate this down to 1,000 or under, so we can run it all in one flask. Don't know if it'll work, but we'll find that out together. So let's go ahead and dump this right on the heat right away. So we're starting fresh. I just turned that on, and the lid seemed to work pretty good. I definitely should get a 5,000. You know, it would definitely work better with the concave bit. We'd get more of that condensation dripping down, but it seemed to work really well yesterday. So we'll go ahead and put that back on and go from there. Hold on, I was just told I need to say, put it on some heat and let her eat. All right, this reaction is done. Let's turn that down a little bit. All right, let's see if we can pour a little bit in there. We're just going to do a quick little test. So I've got another 100. This isn't all going to go in there right now when it's screaming hot. So I imagine we're going to get quite a reaction. So let's see, just a little bit down the side. Hold on here. Alright, let's try that again. Okay, not a crazy reaction. Alright, we'll go ahead and dump her in there. There she goes. Alright, I think we'll be alright. It's a good thing we had plenty of beaker there, eh? And we have some serious dissolving power going on. So you can see where we hit, a little more than halfway up above the beaker. It's still kind of sketchy because that's a whole bunch of nitric acid and solution that, you know, could come up and over. And to tell you the truth, I don't think that my catch pan would be big enough. If we had that would be quite the adventure, I'll tell you that. All right, let's do a little test swirl quick. So we've got plenty of solids left, and the nitric acid isn't doing what it should be doing, so I imagine our solution is getting pretty full. So instead of just adding a whole bunch of nitric to this, I think we're going to go ahead and double the solution. I think we're kind of past, we're not going to get that much metals in 1,000. So let's fill this up. put another 1,000 in there. Let's see here. Grab our nitric acid. And we're going to go ahead and put 200 more mils. And we shouldn't have to worry about reaction because I just cooled it down quite a bit. There we go. So, not nearly as crazy as it was before. I am going to keep this, I'm going to shut this off for tonight. So I am going to put it back on the heat plate while it's still warm, so we can at least utilize the leftover BTUs in there. And yeah, let's see what we got tomorrow. Alright, I would have to say that we have everything dissolved out of here. They must have alloyed that with some fun stuff. I'm gonna have to say tin. Let's see. I do see a very small amount in there. Hold on here. You see that little bit at the bottom. So I think it's a perfect time to stop with the nitric boils anyway. And yeah, let's get to the filtering of this stuff. All right, we are going to get a little crazy here. So I've just got a big old, make sure that doesn't go through. So this used to have, ooh, we lost one. Hold on, let's see if I can compress that any better. This used to have a screen on it, but that screen was brass. So you can only imagine. It can only handle so much AP. So what I got here is I just cut a hole in the 1 gallon top. Not fancy or anything like that. This is sanding. So for like a DA sander, that's what you would get a pack of 50 of them in. Works pretty good. I just put it on top of that hole, and then it gives it a decent base to, you know, I mean, it's not the perfect solution by any means, but it's way better than just that. So, well, let's go ahead, pour that in there, and see if we can get it all to stay where it's supposed to. I'm really worried about those cotton filters popping out. If they pop out, not the end of the world. Get my gloves on. Alright, so I washed this out fairly good. I tried to rinse it out with distilled water. I imagine I didn't get all of the tap water off there. There's just no, you know, I imagine you'd have to use gallons of it to clean it very well. So we might end up with a very small amount of silver chloride, which we'll save in the filter, either the second time we filter it, unless I did a good enough job filtering it and spraying it out, and we don't end up with any. And then we'll just go ahead and run it all out. So I'm just going to try and pour it not right in the middle. I think you can see the shadow of it filling, so the filters are holding, which is good. So we've got quite a bit of silver left at the bottom. You can see it, all the little pieces. So I'm good with that. We'll save that for another time. 1 second, I gotta get my spray bottle quick. Go too far. This piece right here, that looks like copper. And that kind of scares me a little bit. Actually, I'm not sure if it's copper. It's pretty crumbly. That's definitely got to be copper. In the stock pot. Yeah, I would definitely say that's copper. Alright, well, let me get that cleaned out, change my gloves, and yeah, I'll come back to you when this is all filtered out. We'll check it out the first go around by just dumping it back in there, and then yeah, if it's filtered out enough, we'll go ahead, jump the coil in there. But I may save that for part 2. I may save that for part 2. Still filtering. Not that you can see anything from here. Oh, that right here, maybe? Yeah. It's quite a bit. Nothing in there yet. Alright, well, let's let her keep going. Alright, let's top this up with some distilled water. Alright, so I poured that distilled water in, and we got a cloudy, I imagine, silver chloride in there. So I don't know if it was a poor distilled water job or what, but we got to filter it out. So I'm going to go ahead and change the cotton balls in the funnels, and then yeah, I'll refilter it quick. It won't be quick. I imagine it's going to be tomorrow, and then we'll go ahead and cement the silver out. So here's our material that was left. So some of that definitely looks like cement silver. So I imagine there was a couple of pieces of copper, or we just didn't dissolve it long enough. But I'm okay with that because that means we don't have any nitric in there. I'm not too worried about a little bit of silver chloride mixed in with my cement silver, especially with this batch, because this batch is going to be burned outside. Because you can convert silver chloride into metallic silver by melting it. It just releases chlorine gas. So if you do that, you definitely don't want to be inside doing it, and you want to be in a well ventilated area. So like I said, I'll have no problem with a little bit in there. So I'm doing this mostly because I really want a cool cement video. I think it'll be a pretty good one. But we'll find out. All right, and it is all filtered out. It's been sitting in there overnight again. I think today is going to be the day. Today is going to be the day. Oh, there we go. All right. Hey, there we go. Maybe not. Definitely. Today is definitely not the day. It is cloudy. Bummer. We'll just go like this. Alright, well, I have filtered this about 5 different times, and that material in there is so fine it is just not coming out. So we're going to go ahead and cement this out anyways, which is probably not going to be as cool because I made a decent sized coil, which you're not going to be able to see very good. Alright, well, this is going to take a while, so we'll let this do its thing, and then yeah, we'll get back to it, maybe do a couple of checks on there and see what everything looks like all said and done. What is going on, guys? We have some silver cemented. This is a 5,000 milliliter beaker. It is a big dogger, the biggest one I have, and we have a decent amount of silver there on the bottom. So really looking forward to this. I think we're just going to continue to use this 1 gallon bucket. Just pour that back in there. very slowly. Nothing's in there. It's the same one that we've been using. Like that. There we go. Hold on. Let's get you a better view here. Try to anyway. And we'll go like this. I lied. We're just going to do a quick cleanup on it. It's not going to be anything crazy. I don't want to go through gallons of distilled water cleaning this up. So we'll see if we can just get the blue to a minimum before we melt it up. And then, yeah, we'll get a quick weight on it. We'll save the melting and all that stuff for a different video. I don't think just cleaning this up will make a good video. So I've already done one boil on it. I'll go ahead and do another boil, and then we'll probably just do one rinse. And it's not going to be a perfect clean by any means. All right. That. It's getting a little lighter. Kind of. Hey, just a couple more rinses. So we did 2 boils on it. Like I said, I don't expect this to be squeaky clean either. It just... I may have to try and come up with a better way to clean this. Think of something anyway. Because I know we're going to have a whole bunch of silver in here. And just from cooking it, you can see those crystals. Oh, let's see if I can zoom in for you here. So you can see those crystals. Those are copper nitrate crystals that basically were sitting on the bottom underneath all of this cement silver. So maybe I'll have to heat up the water in a separate container and then pour it in so we don't create those. And there we go. Obviously it's not perfect. That's what we got the SilverStoll for, right? Well, let's go ahead and evaporate that up. I'm gonna do one more boil. I want to see if I can get rid of some of those crystals. All right, so we ended up with 563, not 263, 563, or something like that. Not bad, not bad. Now, I did happen to spill a little bit. So, when I boiled it that last go around, it turned into like a big puck. And then when I went to tip it over and dump it, I lost a little bit. So I know there's a little bit of silver in the bottom of that beaker yet. So we'll go get that. Especially, I wasn't able to start my project that I wanted to this weekend. So we'll go ahead and hopefully start that. Anyways, I'm going to keep this ending short because I know the video is on the longer side. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, we have Friday video coming up. So if you want to send some stuff in, let me know. My email will be in the link in the description. There we go. It will be in the description. So send me that stuff, pictures, videos, all that fun stuff, and we'll get you in for the giveaway. All right. Thank you guys so much. Oh, and I think we need 3 more people to have 1,500. So we got that giveaway going on too. Whew. Holy smokes, I can't keep up with you guys. Thanks, guys. I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one.